Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Clifford Endo, and today we're attempting to recreate Michelin-starred pork buns from Tim Ho Wan. In no way we're trying to be Michelin-star chefs in a single afternoon, but we're gonna give it a shot. So Tim Ho Wan is a chain, and they are famous for many things, one of those being their pork buns. Their pork buns have a very spongy texture. First thing we gotta do is we gotta taste them. So we got thinly chopped barbecue pork on the inside. You can taste some hoisin in there, maybe some oyster sauce. And it's got that kind of like that char siu pork thing where it's a little bit red on the outside. What we're really gonna try to do here is mimic this spongy bread because we're really trying to get that light, airy texture. And that topping, wow, gives it a lot of sweetness. They're very good. So usually when we try to recreate something, the first thing we do is usually consult the internet, but there are no recipes. So we just gotta go by this thing, by taste. And we're gonna try to put together some sort of dough that we can replicate with this. I'm gonna try to figure out some sort of topping that can also replicate it. I'm gonna use bread flour and I'm gonna use cake flour. The reason why is because we're really trying to get that light, airy texture. So we're gonna use a mixture of milk and cream, and there's actually a little bit of sweetness in that dough. I'm gonna add around 1/3 of a cup of sugar, just in case it doesn't work, an egg. And then we have a little bit of salt and then some yeast. We're gonna throw it in there, there's a lot of liquid in there, and then we're gonna mix it for about 15 minutes, just so really incorporating it. And that'll actually give it time for that yeast to activate and for it to rise. As we can see from the first little bit, right here, that dough's coming together. All right, so we're gonna back this down a little bit, and we're gonna let this rise just on the countertop for about an hour. It should maybe double, hopefully even close to triple in size. Now, while that rests, we are going to make our topping. Now, this is what I really think sets apart these pork buns from other ones. Butter, that's what I think the base of this is, and so we're kind of winging this. We're gonna use powdered sugar to help set that and keep that in place. Have another 50 grams of cake flour. Again, we're staying away from AP flour just because it's a little thick and it's a little tacky. We want this to be light and hopefully a little bit crispy. I'm gonna incorporate this all together, and we want it to be kind of crummy, and then we're gonna keep working it until hopefully it becomes sort of a paste. It kind of looks like a cross between an icing and a cookie batter. That goes in the bag, just like so. So I think that's close. We are gonna grab our dough, we're gonna roll it out, and we're just gonna stuff it with the pork mixture. All right, so I got a little bit of dough here. I'm gonna put about a heaping tablespoon of filling inside. That pork mixture is pretty easy. We just used hoisin and oyster sauce. This is the one thing that is actually Googleable in this recipe, so just do that. We're here for all the other stuff that you cannot find. And I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna fold it up, almost just like a beggar's purse dumpling. I'm gonna flip it upside down, and there is gonna be our bun. This one I'm gonna maybe go a tiny bit bigger. Fold this up. This one's a little thicker. We're gonna go here. You know what, maybe these smaller ones do work a little bit better. That this is yeast in here, and it will possibly expand. So I'm gonna take these, they're gonna go on a sheet pan, and then again, we're gonna rest them for another hour, right? At this point, you probably could have gone to Tim Ho Wan and eaten like 37 pork buns. Here are 6 that I made before. Gotta use our jam. I am gonna pipe these around. I think there's a lot of butter in here. I don't know if this is gonna hold on top. Let's go in the oven. 350 because that's all baking things. Let's just assume that that's it. All right, 25-ish minutes. Okay, we got a little bit of the drippy around the outside. We're expecting that. It's crispy on the top. The bread's brown. We got the coloring on the bottom. And we're gonna slice this open. Look at that, look at that. The top is super flaky. Our inside is a little bit more red. That's because of our char siu. We had a little bit more coloring in it. That's fine. It actually doesn't affect the flavor that much. The texture on it actually seems pretty similar. See the crumb on the bread there? And you see the crumb on the bread in here? That is actually really close. What's left to do but to taste these? I'm not gonna do that alone. No, I'm gonna bring in, being our culinary producer, Jackie Rothong. Second, one of our producers, Dan Janine, who is probably the world's biggest fan of Tim Ho Wan pork buns. And last but not least, the man who makes it all happen behind the camera, Scotty Kahn, who's also a massive fan of Tim Ho Wan pork buns. So we're gonna go side by side. First one, everyone, let's try the original Tim Ho Wan pork buns.
It's like crunchy pork candy.
The dough's really soft though.
Now, time for ours.
I thought it was gonna be a disaster. The bottom is perfect.
They're pretty close, Cliff. They're pretty close.
They're pretty close. What do you think, how do you think we're doing it right, and how do you think it's off?
The dough is pretty close.
The dough's close, and that's the hardest part. Did we recreate Tim Ho Wan pork buns?
I think in terms of how much are these like Tim Ho Wan's, I'm gonna give it a 65%.
Okay, not bad. We're on the right track.
Yeah.
Now it's just a tinker. We reduce the flour content, we make them a little smaller, we film them a little bit more. Those three things will get you close. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And for more videos like this, please click right here. See, that's closer. Look at that. I got these little bubbles.